Hello everyone, welcome to Inside the College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, President of Union County College. On our episode of Inside the College today, I have a special treat for you. One of our amazing, wonderful students, Muriel Mason. Welcome, Muriel.
Thank you.
It's great to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much, it's good to be here.
Now let me tell you a little bit about Muriel. Muriel is the president of our Student Government Association, and in that role, she's the highest ranking student at the college and somebody we rely on heavily to get a student perspective, but also to lead student activities here at the college. Now, before we talk about student government, I'd like to start with Muriel. Tell us a little bit about you so that people at home, the viewers at home, can learn a little bit about a Union County College student leader.
Well, I grew up right here in Cranford, New Jersey, so I'm right 5 minutes away from the college, and I went to Cranford High School. And after graduating there, now I'm here studying chemistry as my major.
Now, are you a freshman here at Union County or sophomore?
I'm a sophomore.
So you're class of 2018 from Cranford?
2017.
2017 from Cranford. So tell us, your major is biology, did you say?
Chemistry.
Chemistry. Why did you pick chemistry?
Well, I actually started as biology, as you mentioned, but I took Professor Hyderi's Chem 111 class and completely fell in love with the subject and the way she taught it and everything about it. And she convinced me to switch on over to chemistry, and I wouldn't regret it.
Fantastic. Now, do you want to, 10 years, are you planning on being a research scientist or work in big pharma or go to medical school? What's the plan for Muriel Mason?
My original goal was medical school, and I believe that's still something that I can see myself doing. But after then taking Chem 112 with Dr. Ishpara, he's really gotten me introduced into environmental science, and I've also considered now environmental engineering when I transferred to a 4-year, and I think that would be really, really fun. But I could still go to medical school having all the prereqs for it, but still majoring in environmental engineering.
So many medical school students are chemistry majors or biology major. It won't hurt you being a chemist.
So you don't need any specific major to go to medical school, but you can apply as long as you've gotten all the prerequisites done.
So if not medical school, you mentioned environmental science.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
Very interested in learning ways that we can recycle and reuse different products, because as all of us know, there's so much plastic still in the environments that we're living in. And I was actually recently reading an article about a young woman who was finding a way to take a lot of used plastics and break them down into their original organic compounds, and then use those compounds to rebuild them into usable materials for clothes and furniture and things of that sort. So definitely would be interested in that.
There are many like me from my generation who remember the very first Earth Day and when we came refocused on the environment, but I think it's going to be you and your generation that actually finds a solution to some of these issues related to climate change and the environment.
I'm excited.
I think it's going to happen. Now tell me about SGA. I want to learn about student government and help our viewers, because they're from all over the county and some of them don't know about student government. So tell us about it.
So our student government at UCC is made up of a team. We call ourselves Growth Through Action. And the idea came over the summer. We were brainstorming, and we all want to see our school grow in numbers, motivation, involvement, and we want to do it in all the same way, through hands-on, full-force action. And so all of our members have been so great. Everyone's been completely involved and taking on each task. And so we have this platform that we're going to be working on throughout the next year. And each of the team members, so we have 6 of us right now, each of us has taken on our own individual initiative that stems from something that we hold close to our hearts. So mine, as you might have guessed, would be the environmental initiative. And then we have an educational initiative that my Vice President Bianca is running. And then our Treasurer Linda, she's running an outreach initiative. Valerie.
And that's to get more students involved?
Exactly, yes, to get more students involved in clubs and different organizations around school, and just to let them know what kind of resources that we have available for them. We're also working on a philanthropic initiative with our Secretary Valerie, and our senators, Edens and Voss, are working on an inter-campus communication initiative, which is trying to get, the word about all these different things that we have available to students out, and making that advertisement easier and accessible for students.
So education, the environment, engagement, communication. Lots going on.
Yeah,
It's
we have a lot going
SGA.
on. Of course, we actually have one of our first events coming up in October 19th. We're going to be lending. It's called Lend a Hand, and we're going to be cleaning up Broad Street at
Is
the
that
Elizabeth
part of the
campus.
service initiative?
No, that's actually part of. Yeah, actually, no.
It's probably a couple different initiatives.
Yeah, so Edens is working at, he's our Elizabeth senator, and he's working to clean up the streets right around Elizabeth, something that he feels passionate about.
Right around our campus?
Exactly, it's going to be Broad Street, the street that goes right through
Sure.
the Kellogg and the
Lesnar building.
Lesnar building, yes. And so we'll be cleaning up the street there with, I think, around a few dozen students.
So you have a philanthropic initiative, environmental initiative, communication, education, service, lot
Yes.
going on.
Yeah, our team is very diverse and we have all these different interests, but that's exactly what represents our school. We have so many students with so many different interests, and I think it's a great way to show them that no matter what those interests are, we have a place for them.
What's the biggest challenge as president of SGA? President to president, what's your biggest challenge?
I would say, this wasn't a question I was expecting.
Getting people engaged, getting people going?
Yeah, I think the that kind of, what do we call it? Activation energy. That's what we call
Activation,
it.
oh, that's a great expression.
That's what we call it in a chem class. But yeah, getting people to just get started. But once it's started, everyone is running with it. You know, we had
And that's called momentum in physics.
yes, it is. Yeah, we had a lot of clubs that were just getting started, and some students were like, I don't know if I can handle it. And, you know, we encouraged them, we supported them. And now that they've started their clubs, they're ready to go, and they're already planning events, and they're getting, you know, dozens of members. And it's
So
really
once they overcome the inertia, another physics concept,
yeah.
my physics friends are going to like that, and they get some momentum going, you get the activation energy in there, you get students engaged?
Yeah.
How many clubs? You have a lot of clubs?
So far, we have 19 clubs as of today, and we should be having a few more added on throughout the next month.
19 in the first month of the semester.
Yeah.
That's great.
Very
That's
exciting.
Give me an idea. What do they range from? What types of clubs?
Oh, we have so many different kinds. We have a bunch of fitness clubs. We've got, you know, weight management, 3D fitness, yoga mates. We have art clubs. So we've got Art Society, Photography Club, Drama Club. We've got Special Interests, History Club, Model UN. And we also have, we have the Black Student Union, one of our most active clubs, as well as a few others.
So clubs for every interest.
Yeah, pretty much. And if there isn't one that you're interested in, we highly encourage you to start one.
So if I'm a student at Union County College, I can start my own club?
Absolutely.
What are the requirements?
You need to have yourself to start it, and you need to have an advisor and a cabinet made up of a president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary.
So about 5 students can start a club then.
But really, as long as you would have a president and a treasurer, just 2 students, you could run with that.
Get something going.
Exactly.
Terrific. Now,
Yeah.
what is SGA's role with the clubs? Like as president, you and your leadership team, how do you interact with the clubs?
We're in direct contact with the clubs at all times. Like I mentioned, our treasurer, Linda, is working on an outreach initiative. So she's holding these meetings with all the club leaders and making sure that they're being completely supported and they're being completely encouraged to keep moving forward and you know, kind of learning from her guidance how to run their clubs, how to plan for events and things like that. And Bianca is running inter-club council meetings, and so each month she's meeting with all the club officers and their advisors and just checking in with them, as well as we'll be attending some of their meetings just to check in, make sure they're doing okay, and we're in direct contact with them. We have an open door policy, so whenever they stop in and feel like coming to talk to us, they certainly do.
Now, Muriel, some of our viewers, some of them have gone to college, others haven't. But some of them may be wondering, why do they need these clubs and these activities and this student government?
It's fair.
So help the folks at home understand why college students should be engaged and involved in these things.
Well, personally, I can explain that a year ago today, I was doing nothing but classes when I came to school. I was coming in and I was going to my classes and I was going home and doing my homework, and it was fun and it was manageable, but it was almost unfulfilled. And so now I'm working with the SGA and a few other organizations on school, and I'm able to meet so many people, and I have friends in all of these different aspects of the school, and it's so nice to just be connected. I think that's the goal, is that you feel truly connected to the school. When you're not just taking classes and learning a subject, you're participating in events, and you're going to club meetings, and you're making friends and doing all these things, and you're actually being part of this community.
The research says that students who are connected to other students and to a professor and to the college in general are much more likely to stay in school and graduate. And I think that's what you're describing here.
Probably.
Your Student Government Association and all of the clubs who are affiliated with your work, it's really a student success initiative.
Success initiative and also support initiative. I think having those clubs and people that you can connect with, it builds that support that leads to the success.
Our guest for this segment of the show has been Muriel Mason. She is the president of the Student Government Association here at Union County College. This is Inside the College. I'm President Maggie McMenamin, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
Union County College, transforming our community one student at a time.
I like Sungage because the book is on the internet and it's all one package. I don't have to go on the internet and buy the book separately. I also am able to print out my notes if I need to. The cost of books are $200 to $300 a piece, and Sungage is about $130 for the semester, so I'm getting more bang for my buck. The ability to access the book is like I go online, I log in, and I get my information I need.
Welcome back to Inside the College. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, president of Union County College. Our episode today involved the president of our Student Government Association, and now I have the athletic director at Union County College, Mr. Shawn Noel. Welcome to the program, Shawn.
Welcome, Dr. McMenamin. Thank you for having me.
I'm happy to have you here, and we're thrilled that you're here at Union County College. Now, before we talk about your work here at the college, we want to learn a little bit about Shawn Noel. Where are you from? Where do you live? Where did you grow up? Tell us about you.
I grew up outside of Albany, New York, in a place called Guilderland. It's a small town, like I said, outside of Albany, New York. I attended SUNY Oswego, where I got my undergraduate degree in marketing.
And were you planning on being a marketing person, or what was the plan when you were an undergrad at SUNY Oswego?
Well, the plan first was to be an athletic trainer, because I went to Springfield College to begin.
Okay.
Transferred out. My father said, you got two choices. You can either come home and work, or you can go to a state school. It's a little more affordable, because at the time, I learned the hard way of what it is to be a student and a student athlete. So
you were a student athlete at Springfield?
Yeah.
What was your sport?
I did baseball. I played baseball.
What position?
First base.
Okay, so you were an undergraduate at Springfield College in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, correct, yeah.
Isn't that where they started basketball at
It
Springfield?
Was, yeah, Basketball Hall of Fame.
Naismith was? Okay, but you went there to play baseball.
Yep.
And how many years did you, our students, certainly our viewers, often want to know, how did you get to where you are?
Yeah.
So what happened at Springfield?
I played 1 year, and unfortunately, I think that's why I do what I do now. I struggled with my grades. I struggled as a student athlete. I didn't do particularly well.
Maybe paid too much attention to baseball and not enough attention to your classwork?
Absolutely I did. And that's like when I said, my father called and basically said, you got two choices. You can go to work or you can go to a state school and kind of figure out what you want to do. And I said, well, I'm going to take the second of the two and figure out what I'm going to do.
So you went to Oswego.
Yep, went to Oswego, loved it.
Did you play there?
I did not. No, I decided to focus on my academics because that's what I had to do. I knew that in life that's what was going to get me where I had to go. I knew baseball was great and fun, but it kind of ran its course. Even though I think I still wanted to participate, I think the smart move was for me to concentrate on my academics.
So what were you going to, so then you wanted to go there and be an athletic trainer? Well, at Springfield,
At Springfield,
you wanted to be
yes.
an athletic trainer.
Yeah, I wanted to be a trainer. Once I got into a couple courses, the funny part, and I laughed today, is I was like, boy, they work a lot of hours. But that's kind of what it is today, work a lot of hours. So, yeah, that's what I thought, but it all worked out at the end. So I went there and got a marketing degree, enjoyed that. Became a residence hall director and a baseball coach at a school, a SUNY school, for about 6 years. Yeah.
But you were a marketing major.
Yep.
What were you going to do with the marketing?
Well, I was.
Or was that just like a holding place?
It was sort of a holding place, truthfully. I was like, business is kind of safe. It was like, okay, business, I think I can do a lot with this when I get out of college. So once I did that, I did work in minor league baseball a little bit as a sales guy. My first job,
Okay, so you got to use your degree.
Absolutely, $16,000 a year plus commission. You know, I thought I was on top of the world at that time, but you know. And then the reality set is sales is tough. Sales is a tough gig. Not impossible, but a tough gig. So I knew a friend that was a residence hall director at another SUNY institution. Said, hey, we're looking for a residence hall director. I was like, I don't really know anything about being a residence hall director, but it was paired with a coach. So I said, all right, let me give this a try. So it worked out.
So you were a residence hall director and a baseball coach?
That's correct.
And then what came next?
And then, as I was the residence hall director and the baseball coach, I said, it's time for me to get my master's degree.
Okay.
So I was also getting my master's. So I ended up getting my MBA at SUNY Albany. So I'd commute twice a week to SUNY Albany from being a residence hall director and a coach. And
So talk to me, how'd you get to New Jersey?
New Jersey, I was working at a college in Maryland.
As a coach?
As an athletic director. That was my first athletic director job.
You got a job so you left coaching completely?
Left coaching completely, yes.
Why'd you leave coaching?
I think
it's such a joy.
It's a joy, but it's
parents, the kids.
It's a lot of work. Parents, kids, recruiting. There's a lot. I mean, it's a lot that goes into it. So I still loved athletics. So I said I want to stay in athletics. So I was in Maryland as an athletic director. It was out in the western part of Maryland. Most people don't know where it is. Beautiful. I say it's God's country. It's gorgeous.
God's country is actually northeastern Pennsylvania,
Okay.
but that's all right. Coal regions.
So, and then I said it's time to take the next step and go to something a little bit bigger. It was a smaller program, a smaller institution.
And that's when you came to New Jersey.
That's when I came to New Jersey, correct.
Well, we are delighted, Shawn, that you have come to New Jersey because I know you're doing a great job with our athletic program
thank
here
you.
at Union. So tell our viewers, some of the people in the community, unaware completely that we have any athletics here. So tell me what's going on at Union in terms of athletics.
It's great. Athletics is at a great point. You know, we've done a great job, I think, with our students, make sure they're student athletes. I think that's the best thing since I've come here is the academic portion of our athletics program. We've done a great job streamlining and really making an effort to make sure our athletes stay connected and concentrate on their academics.
How have you done that? What have you done to make sure of
We've
that?
mandated academic learning center hours over in the library.
What's the Academic Learning Center?
The Academic Learning Center is a place where any student can go and get help in particular subjects.
Like tutoring?
Correct. It's
Tutoring
like tutoring.
center.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
So
So the athletes have to go for tutoring?
They have to go for tutoring, correct. And if they don't, then they don't play.
Suppose it's the star of the team.
I'm sorry, say again?
Suppose it's the star of the team. Do you let him play?
No, it doesn't matter who you are. Best player, worst player, doesn't
Goalie
matter.
on the soccer team.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter
High
who it is.
scorer on the basketball
Doesn't
team.
matter.
If they don't do their tutoring hours,
They don't play.
They don't play.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't play.
What else
So,
besides tutoring hours have you done to help the student athletes focus on academics?
I think we've given them resources. We've given them their own dedicated space with a dedicated advisor, which I think has been a home run, for lack of a better word. They've really built a relationship not only with the advisor but with the other students in there, and I think they help each other, get through the process, get through classes. The sophomores pass it on to the freshmen, and then that cycle continues. And there's an expectation of what it's like to be a student athlete here.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what sports are at Union County College.
Yeah, Union has a wealth of sports. In the fall, we have men's and women's soccer, women's volleyball, and men's and women's cross country running. In the winter, we have men's and women's basketball. Brand new is men's wrestling, which will be starting this semester, right now, basically.
New Jersey is a wrestling hotbed.
Huge.
It's huge.
Huge, especially right in this county. It's great. I mean, the county was excited when we announced it. We've gotten a lot of response from
I grew up in
wrestling.
Jackson, New Jersey, which is a major wrestling hub. I'll give a shout out to Rutgers University, head coach in wrestling, former Jackson Memorial High School head coach. So I'm very familiar with New Jersey's wrestling history, and we pay honor to that history and certainly are thrilled that we've restarted wrestling at Union.
Absolutely.
I understand we had it decades ago, long before I got here, and then it disappeared in the 80s sometime.
That's what I've heard, kind of that early 80s. I've heard it kind of went away, and we're excited to restart it.
Okay, so men's and women's basketball and wrestling in the winter.
Wrestling, bowling, women's bowling.
Bowling, now
Yes.
that's a family sport.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to take it at a competitive level. So we're attracting female bowlers to hopefully come in and compete for us as another offering.
And will they be bowling at one of the bowling alleys in the county?
Yeah, we're looking at the Linden Bowling Center.
Linden Bowling Center. Has that been signed, sealed, and delivered,
Not
or
quite,
you're
but we're still
negotiating with them?
negotiating, correct.
Come on, Linden Bowling Center. We want to host our bowling team at
Yeah,
your location.
absolutely.
I'm hoping that works out well.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Okay, what else?
Spring, we have baseball, we have men's lacrosse, and then we have men's and women's track and field. And then, there's some plans to maybe add some other sports, to keep that momentum going. So we're definitely doing great things, have a lot of offerings for, a wealth of student athletes from the county.
Wonderful. Now tell me, I know it's not a traditional sport, but I know that Union started esports.
Esports.
So tell us about esports. You
Esports.
didn't even mention it. So tell
Esports,
me
I know,
about
esports. Esports is, I think it's a learning process for all of it. It's one of the biggest things that has come since, I'll say, sliced bread. It's an exciting revolution here of actually.
Is that just
playing.
here? Or?
No, that's everywhere. It's across the country.
So you're telling me that students come to Union County College and compete against college students at other colleges?
Correct. Yes. Yes, they do. They compete against other students from other colleges. The games we offer are League of Legends and Overwatch, which are two of the bigger games in the esports world. And we're excited to offer it. We had about 20 student athletes that were a part of it last year, and we're hoping to increase that number this year. I think we have about 30 or so. But it's definitely something, it's a learning experience, but it's really exciting. It's really neat when you sit and talk with those student athletes and hear what esports is.
Now, this is a question I asked Muriel towards the end of my conversation with her, and I want to ask you. Some of our viewers at home and some people in the county, whether they've gone to school or never went to college, they wonder, why do they even need athletics? Shouldn't these kids all be concentrating on academics? Why do they need student government or clubs, extracurricular, athletics, and things like that?
I think athletics is important because it builds a team concept, and I think it holds them accountable to not only compete on the field, but I think it holds them accountable to do their schoolwork and get it done. It's something, it's a carrot for them, whether we agree or disagree. I think it's a carrot for them to get their education, some of these students, and they know that if they don't do well on the, in the classroom, that they will be held out of their athletics, and I think it's something that they want to do. I think it's something that motivates them, and if one helps the other, I think that's a positive thing.
So they learn teamwork,
Yeah.
but they also learn things like time management and
Absolutely.
organizational
Absolutely.
skills, because they need that in order to be successful
Sure.
academically.
And it's lifelong learning,
Lifelong.
I think. Yeah, I think we teach them those basic everyday skills as well, which is important.
Some exciting things happening here at Union County College. My guest for this segment of the show is Mr. Shawn Noel, the Athletic Director at Union. Previously, we heard from the Student Government Association President Murielle Mason, and they're talking about wonderful activities and extracurricular activities. We talk so much about what we do in the classroom here, but we also understand that we're building citizens. So engaging these students in extracurricular activities that require them to serve as leaders, as members of a team, improve communication, all make a big part of the overall educational package at Union. So that's all for this episode of Inside the College. Thank you for joining me here, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. I'm Dr. Maggie McMenamin, and thank you for viewing Inside the College.